Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
We begin tonight with health experts worrying about a post-Christmas COVID spike. Local officials are looking to resume rapid testing in Steuben County. Matt Kleindens joins us now in Corning, talking about the local health department's efforts.
Good evening. The Steuben County Health Director hopes to increase community COVID testing as we exit the holiday season.
Is really critical to help to mitigate any further spread.
With the holidays wrapping up, the Steuben County Health Department is looking to resume rapid testing in the area. Earlier in the month, the county partnered with Corning Community College to offer free testing for Corning area residents and look to continue that partnership.
They have been a great partner for us, and we were able to test a fair amount of people. We are anticipating trying to get that going again just as quickly as we can.
The previous round of rapid testing saw 500 people show up to Corning's Health Education Center, and Darlene Smith anticipates more people will be interested with the holidays being over and cases going up.
There is significant community spread, so we not only want to make this available for travelers to comply with the regulations, but we want to make the testing available to just the general community to help stop that spread.
Darlene Smith hopes to have a testing arrangement with the Corning Community College sometime next week, but details are still being worked out. Reporting from Corning, Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC.
It's more proof that COVID-19 doesn't discriminate, and young, healthy people can still face real danger if they contract the virus. Big Fox News COVID-19 specialist Amanda Decker is here with a look at the latest confirmed local deaths in Steuben County as cases rise again over the weekend.
167 new COVID-19 infections were identified in Steuben County over the weekend, but 4 more deaths were also reported in the county. 3 individuals who died from COVID-19 were residents of the Fred and Harriet Taylor Health Center. The women were 81, 88, and 90 years old. 1 more resident of the Taylor Health Center also tested positive for COVID-19 on Monday. The 4th person to die from COVID lived in the village of Wayland and was just 42 years old. That person died while hospitalized. Steuben County Public Health Director Darlene Smith says that 4th death is a reminder of the toll COVID-19 can have on anyone of any age or other demographic. The latest cases bring Steuben County's death toll to 136, and a reminder that it's more important than ever to stay away from other people when you're out in public, wear a mask, and keep washing your hands throughout the day. As part of New York State's vaccination plan, every employee and resident of a nursing home or long-term care facility in the state of New York is expected to be vaccinated for COVID-19 by March. Reporting for Big Fox News, I'm COVID-19 specialist Amanda Decker.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris received the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine Tuesday. She got her shot live on national TV, administered by Patricia Cummings, a clinical nurse manager at United Medical Center. Harris said it is quick, safe, and relatively painless, while urging Americans to get the vaccination. President-elect Joe Biden received his COVID vaccination live on national television last week. Vice President Mike Pence was administered the vaccine at an on-camera event the week before Biden. As for President Trump, a White House official had said he won't be administered the vaccine until it is recommended by his medical team. At the time, the official said Trump was still receiving the benefits of the monoclonal antibody cocktail he was given after he tested positive for COVID-19 in October. The Transportation Security Administration says nearly 1.3 million Americans traveled Sunday, making it the busiest day of travel during the pandemic. The following day, more than 1 million were screened, making Monday the 7th day out of the last 11, with more than 1 million people passing through checkpoints. Monday's numbers are only 45% of the 2.5 million that traveled the same day last year. However, health officials are concerned because the numbers represent a spike in pandemic-era travel. New York is cracking down on COVID-19 vaccine fraud as an investigation into one clinic gets underway. This comes as states prepare for another round of vaccine shipments. Fox News correspondent Brian Yanis has more.
The coronavirus vaccine rollout is well underway, and states are taking action to prevent fraud. New York Attorney General Letitia James opening an investigation into a Brooklyn-based clinic over allegations it wrongfully distributed and administered the Moderna vaccine to the general public. The Park Care Clinic reportedly ignored state plans to prioritize frontline healthcare workers and long-term care residents, though Park Care says it legally acquired the vaccine. Governor Andrew Cuomo signing an executive order to fine healthcare providers up to $1 million if they commit COVID vaccine fraud.
You engage in fraud on this vaccine, we will remove your license to practice in the state of New York.
The CDC says as of Monday, more than 11 million vaccines have been distributed nationwide. Nearly 16 million doses are scheduled to be distributed over the next week.
When you get to the point where you can essentially say anybody and everybody who wants to be vaccinated can be vaccinated, that's when you really turn around the dynamics of the outbreak.
And the vaccines can't come soon enough. Current COVID-19 hospitalizations topping 100,000 for another day on Monday. In Los Angeles County, some hospitals fear they may have to start rationing care.
Every hospital has a scarce resource policy. That's something we've all had in place for years in anticipation and perhaps dread of an event like this.
Public health officials say we could see a post-holiday surge of coronavirus infections in the coming weeks. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
The Chemung County Sheriff is warning about attracting thieves after the holidays. He says exposing gift boxes out on the curb can advertise to thieves the items in your home, making it a target. Residents are advised to hide your holiday trash by either cutting up cardboard boxes before recycling or turning the packaging inside out. Today, President Trump minced no words in criticizing leaders of his own party. In a series of tweets, the president said in part, quote, "Weak and tired Republican leadership will allow the bad defense bill to pass," saying if it does pass, it would be a, quote, "disgraceful act of cowardice and total submission by weak people to big tech." The rebuke comes after the House of Representatives took a pair of votes Monday night with mixed results for the president. They voted to increase coronavirus stimulus checks to $2,000, something the president wanted, but they also voted to override his veto of the massive defense spending bill. But there won't be any fast-tracking of bigger COVID stimulus checks in the Senate. Today, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tried to quickly pass the measure to increase stimulus payments for most Americans from $600 to $2,000. The change would have needed unanimous consent. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell objected, therefore blocking the effort. The measure could be scheduled for another vote in the Senate at a later date. Help will soon be on the way for millions of Americans who fell on hard times during the pandemic. The much-needed assistance will come from a coronavirus relief package President Trump signed Sunday night. Brian Todd explains what the bill will do for struggling Americans.
For Megan Meyer, the stimulus checks and new unemployment benefits can't come soon enough. The single mother of two has been unemployed since the spring.
For Christmas, I had to count on people, different agencies, nonprofits, to help me be able to afford Christmas for my kids. I've had a nonprofit agency that paid my rent so that we can be afloat.
Megan and millions of other struggling Americans will soon get one-time payments of $600 each following President Trump's late signing of the stimulus bill. That $600 is for individuals earning $75,000 a year or less. Married couples earning $150,000 a year or less who file jointly get twice that amount. Families with children under 17 will get $600 per child. People earning $99,000 a year or more get nothing. The payments could increase from $600 each if Congress and the President agree to bigger payments for this stimulus bill. But for now, when can people expect to at least get that $600 payment?
It could take another week for people to start getting payments. Now, the fortunate thing is because they already have some things in place from the last stimulus payment of $1,200, they can quickly get out payments to people who have information for direct deposit.
Still, some may have to wait several weeks to get their stimulus checks. For the millions of Americans collecting unemployment benefits due to the pandemic, the federal payments they'll get will restart and last through March 14th. This time, the federal payment for each unemployed person is $300 a week. half of what it was in the last stimulus bill. That federal payment is in addition to the state unemployment benefits many are already getting. But because the president waited until Sunday to sign the bill, many unemployed Americans may get 10 weeks of payments instead of 11.
It's not clear if benefits will be payable for this week. There's a theory that maybe benefits can be payable this week. We're just not sure yet.
What about people facing eviction, like Lethea Andrews in Northern Ohio, unemployed since May, who's not been able to pay her rent for 3 months?
It makes me want to cry. Because I'm like, I don't know where that's going to come from. Hello?
The new stimulus bill extends a moratorium on evictions, but only through the end of January.
Right as we head into the heart of the winter, we can't be putting people out of their homes, particularly when they have children. And we already know that a lot of kids are doing their schoolwork at home. So how will they do that? This is really a dire situation.
President Donald Trump has overtaken former President Barack Obama as the most admired man in America in Gallup's annual poll. And former First Lady Michelle Obama remains the most admired woman for a third year in a row. For the men, Barack Obama held the top spot for a dozen years in a row, although Trump and Obama tied in 2019. The Hill reports the sitting U.S. president has been selected as the most admired man in 60 out of the 74 years. This year, for the top three men, 18% named Trump, 15% picked Obama, and 6% chose President-elect Joe Biden. For most admired woman, 10% named Michelle Obama, 6% chose Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, and First Lady Melania Trump came in third with 4%. Coming up next, we hand off to weather for a look at the forecast leading into the new year. That's next.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Kim Walker with your weather update. Tomorrow, we're going to see improving conditions. However, it's still going to be another cold day, and we're going to need that heavy coat throughout the day. We're going to start off with breezy conditions. Winds, though, will be coming from the south at around 10 to 15 miles per hour, and so that's going to provide the warmth that will push those temperatures upward. But it's going to be quite cold starting off the day in the teens. By 6 o'clock, around 20 degrees. It's going to feel slightly cooler just because of the breeze. 21 at 7 o'clock, 24 degrees at 8. So we're going to be below freezing, I should say, throughout the morning hours, and then eventually climb up above freezing in the afternoon. So once again, with south winds returning, we are expecting those temperatures to climb up just a few degrees. However, there is going to be another cold front that will come through, and it's going to give us the possibility of a wintry mix tomorrow. So let's take a look at your future radar. We could start off with some snow, remembering that our temperatures will be in the 20s early in the morning. From Hornell to Bath, we're going to see a few snow showers move in, and that could clip Corning and Elmira before it moves out. And notice the purple and fuchsia that is showing up. That's a wintry mix of sleet and also just icy conditions, and we could see just a few snow showers or sleet showers, I should say, that will be crossing it through the Twin Tiers. And then by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, as those temperatures move slightly above freezing, we're going to see some sleet across our area from Hornell to Bath to Corning. But notice the green that's showing up, and that's because of the warm air that will return. So there could be a few showers mixing in as well. So by midnight on Thursday, there could be a little bit rain with some snow mixing in Steuben County, and then that should be moving out by 3 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Eve. And then during the day on Thursday, I'm expecting it to be dry. In fact, on New Year's Eve, most of the rain will be located well to our south. We're going to see a little bit drier conditions, but it's going to be a dreary day with a lot of cloud cover. And then we have a low pressure system moving out of the south into the Twin Tiers on Friday. So it looks like we start off 2021 with a little bit wetter conditions. Tonight it is going to be breezy. Take a look at these lows. We're talking about teens, 12 degrees in Corning, 14 in Elmira. So definitely bundle up before you head out the door. Highs In the mid to upper 30s for most of us, a little bit warmer in Hornell at 40 degrees, but barely above freezing in Perkinsville at 34 degrees. There will be a wintry mix throughout the day. Temperature readings will be around 37 degrees on New Year's Eve. Cloudy conditions, but it looks like that wintry weather will return on the first day of 2021. Highs around 36 degrees, warming up to the 40s by Saturday. But then another system brings the snow back by the end of the weekend, and colder air will make its way back by Monday.
It's that time again when people set lofty goals for the new year, but with the stress of the pandemic in mind, some mental health experts suggest a new approach to resolutions in 2021.
Who would have known 2020 was going to test us all? While many resolve to do something new in the new year, 2021 may not be the best time to do that, according to Sophie Lazarus, psychologist with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center.
What happens is we set a really high bar January 1st and we don't meet it and we feel more discouraged. And especially now, we really just don't need that for ourselves.
Especially as we say goodbye to a year full of pandemic stress. Lazarus says a reasonable resolution would be to simply try to take better care of ourselves. 3 ways to do that begin with shifting your perspective. Don't focus solely on your hardships.
Trying to also bring into this scope of our attention things that we're grateful for, like maybe family, friends, our health, even just kind of a sunny day in the gloominess of winter.
Next, take time away from technology.
Put the phone away, put the computer away, focus on what you're doing. Really gives our mind a break, allows us to be in the present moment, also gives us a break from this constant barrage of things we need to worry about.
Finally, be kind to yourself.
Give ourselves the same grace that we would give someone that we really love and care about, and just kind of see how that affects our energy and our well-being.
This year, you might just want to resolve to give yourself a break. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And now for the latest headlines from the world of entertainment, here is Douglas Hyde with today's Hollywood Minute.
I'm amazed.
Avengers star Josh Brolin and his wife Catherine received a very special Christmas gift this year, a baby girl. The couple shared the happy news on Instagram over the weekend. Chapel Grace Brolin arrived Christmas evening and is their second child together. Brolin also has 2 children from a previous marriage.
Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset.
Tom Cruise famously gave the crew of Mission Impossible 7 an earful for being lax about social distancing. Well, they might want to be on their best behavior again. Variety reports that Cruise is back in the UK after a Christmas break and that filming there has resumed. If all goes to plan, Mission Impossible 7 will arrive in theaters this November. Paul McCartney still got it. The former Beatles' new album McCartney 3 debuted at #1 on Billboard's top album sales chart. It was the most successful week for a rock album by a solo artist since McCartney's last LP, Egypt Station, topped the chart over 2 years ago. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Rapper Kanye West is not missing a beat when it comes to his Christmas Day music releases. His gospel group dropped a surprise new EP on Christmas titled Emmanuel. That was followed by another EP called Jesus is Born, that Sunday service choir released on Christmas last year. People magazine describes that album as mostly gospel-oriented, but the new one, according to People, is a cappella and mostly in Latin. West is credited as a writer and producer on all 5 tracks on the EP. Despite his venture into Christian music, he is still keeping his hip-hop career going. West released 2 singles in that style earlier this year. An Ohio woman reunited with her therapy dog 11 days after a car accident separated the two. Rob Powers has the story.
He was lost, he was found. Frank Sinatra is home. Named Frank, well, because of those big blue eyes. He went missing December 16th after a rollover crash in Akron. Frank was confused. He took off, and that left Ashley Fricky in a tough spot. She rescued Frank, and Frank returned the favor. He was trained to be a therapy dog to help with Ashley's anxiety and depression. They needed each other. But then the snowstorm, Ashley's birthday, Christmas, 11 days went by. Finally, the call. from a stranger in the night.
We cried like babies and tears of joy, of course.
Somebody found Frank, called Ashley, and they were reunited at 2 a.m. Sunday.
His tail started going and he was home, you know, and he knew it. And you could see the stress just melt off his face.
The crash, then the snowstorm. No wonder Frank was confused. He is mostly okay, has frostbite on his paws. Now he has those blue booties to match those blue eyes. He faced it all and he stood tall. It may not have been his way, but Frank found his way home.
It's a Christmas miracle for sure, and I can't express how happy I am.
The Federal Aviation Administration announced new rules for drones and their operators, which could help further pave the way for drone delivery services. For the first time, the FAA is letting small drones fly over people and at night without a waiver. The drones must have anti-collision lights and other technology to help remotely identify the drones and their operators. Small drones can also fly over moving vehicles under certain conditions. The changes could give a boost to companies such as Amazon, UPS, and Wing, which is a sister company to Google. They have all explored shipping goods through drones. The new rules will go into effect in about 2 months. Snowfall in Southern California is a rare sight, and with it comes possibilities and perils. Jeremy Roth has more in today's Take a Look at This.
The season's first major snowstorm in Southern California brought a rare scene to the Los Angeles area as blanketing snow and hail turned the typically temperate Tinseltown into a winter wonderland. But it wasn't all peaches and cream for the snow-kissed SoCalers as the storm socked in a winding pass on Mount Baldy east of the city, stranding at least 100 drivers for hours.
We are here for the past 5 hours, enjoying the snow.
Someone hit us already. So we're like really stuck and we don't know what's gonna happen next.
California Highway Patrol officials worked along with the motorists themselves to free the trapped vehicles any way they could. Snowplows and tow trucks were called in and the road was eventually barricaded to prevent more vehicles from joining the literally snowy and figuratively sticky situation. And from slick mountain slush to a neighborhood mush. Thanks to a pair of powder-loving pooches, a mother-daughter dog sled racing duo had no problem making their way through the snowy streets of this Cleveland area neighborhood. Amy Onyak and her daughter Ellie have been participating in sled dog racing for years, but can't compete this year due to the pandemic. Ever since waking up to a white Christmas, they decided to make the best of it by enjoying rides with their dashing dogs through the neighborhood.
It was a magical surprise to wake up and see all this awesome snow and just to be able to have fun outside and, you know, especially with everything that's going on now, we're just trying to make the best of it.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
It is officially TikTok Day, and we aren't talking about the popular social media app. Observed each year on December 29th, TikTok Day serves as a reminder to complete whatever you need to do before the year ends. With just 2 days left in the year 2020, time is running out. Have you made all the charitable donations for tax purposes? Have you used the remaining funds in your flexible savings account? Get busy and check off that unfinished business today. Don't forget to use hashtag TikTok Day to post on social media. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.